Hi, welcome to Color Chats with Moira. And today it's not just Moira, you're chatting with on Color. You've got a whole panel. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me on this weekly Color Chat. This kind of came as an inspiration or a hit on the head from God, I think, saying, get on camera, talk about color mirrors, talk about color therapy, share your knowledge, don't just keep it to yourself. So yep, here we go, here I am. So I'm talking about color mirrors, specifically a system I've been working with for 18 years. And last week we had Melissa Jolly on the as our special guest. She was absolutely amazing. Just every time we connect with Melissa, something amazing happens. And we did a workshop with her this weekend. So I thought it would be fun to gather some of the participants and come and share our experience of the workshop. So just before I get going and introduce you to the panel, I'm going to just do some screen sharing here, and I'm going to show you what is available for you this week's show. So there you go, 1, 2, and 3. You've got 1, 2, and 3. So feel which number you're drawn to. And what will happen is I will do, with the panel's help, a reading for you 5 minutes just before we finish the show. So I'd like you to pick if you're drawn to number 1, number 2, or number 3 for a color card message, just to give you some inspiration for the week ahead. And when you know if you're 1, 2, or 3, pop it in the comments box, okay? There we go. You got it. 1, 2, or 3 cards today. Fabulous. So here we go, my darlings. I want to introduce you to our panel. Let's start with Patty, because I think those of you who saw the very first show we did, Patty was the very first guest, and she bravely said, I'll be back. Hi, Patty.
Hello.
Can you just
everybody?
just briefly introduce yourself so people can get to know you if they did miss you on that first episode?
Yes, I'm Patty Gelasso. I live in Ontario, Canada, in Port Perry.
And
I enjoyed that first show, so I'm excited to be back.
Yeah, and we did animal Reiki. And as you spoke, guess who came up onto my lap? You heard your voice because you did some animal Reiki on him this week. Oh, Patty, you're so good. Thank you for joining us, darling. And then Kate Griffiths, can you introduce yourself?
Hi Moira, hello everybody. Nice to see you. My name's Kate. I'm from the UK. I'm a colour teacher over here. And I've been working with this system for 9 years and I'm still not bored of it because it's such an amazing system and it's wonderful to be able to share it with you all today. Thank you for having me.
Oh, that's wonderful, Kate. I'm so glad somebody from the UK joined us as well. And then Lisa, can you introduce yourself?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lisa Shemaine, and I live in Northern California. And I'm just about to complete the Color Mirror Practitioner course in a couple weeks, and very excited about that and to join everyone today.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you so much, Lisa. Oh, someone from the US. Nice. And then we've got our darling Amy. Would you introduce yourself?
Hello. Yes, Amy Bell here, and I am a practitioner of color mirrors. I'm a teacher of color mirrors. I love the color numerology. I use it in my business for branding clients, and I'm the founder and creative director of United Colors of Design, which was inspired by this beautiful family of rainbow beings, and I'm super excited to be here. Yes.
So far you got the black edition, the copper edition, and then the red one's coming out. And you're actually going to be on the show when it comes out to talk about the red edition.
Yeah, the red one is what I'm working on right now. Big production, push to get it to the end.
Fabulous, Amy. Thank you, darling. Thanks for joining us. You're going to get to know more about Amy as well. She's going to come back on the show as well. Everybody's going to be back on the show. Just, I don't think they knew that, but I'm just kind of letting you, the whole panel, know. We're going to carry on this color chat forever. And then we've got Catherine Bork from Canada. Hi, welcome, girl.
Hi, everybody. I'm a big person, or a person in this color family. I'm a practitioner and a color teacher, and I love all the stuff that color has to offer. So I'm really happy and grateful to be here.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you, darling, for joining us. So look at this wonderful group of energy that's here with us. Isn't it just amazing? So Catherine Jones was going to join us. Unfortunately, she's the one who organized the workshop and had such a huge job because there was over 75 participants. And of course, it blew her socks off with all the work she did. So she says, I can't make it tonight. I need to go and have an early night. So for her in the UK, it's nighttime. So night, Catherine, go to bed. She'll come onto the show another time, she said. So we'll excuse her from the panel tonight. All right, let's have a look. Let me open up and just see who's joined us. And if I can get, I'm on iPad, so I want to make sure I can see comments, and I can't see comments. So this is just very frustrating. Oh, there we go. I can see comment. Melissa says, nice to see you all. Hilary Scott's here. Philippa Q, Hilary. Brenda's joined us. Shelley Baines is watching. That's all your crew, Catherine Bork, that's joined us here. Aurelia from Denmark. Oh, Aurelia is our flower lady from Denmark. Anne McVie says hi. Diane Ramsey's on. Okay, I think I'm going to manage to do this. I'm trying an iPad today because my phone and me weren't quite making friends. You know, this technology, doing Zoom live, and yeah. I used to have Michael help me, but anyway, so here we go. So I'm learning. Right. Moira Andrews, hello, my darling. Oh my goodness, Moira just lost her husband. He passed away, and she's dealing with all sorts of things. We are just holding her in such a ball of light and love, like right now. Diane Kavanaugh, your sister, I think. Catherine's watching. Your whole troop's watching here. You've brought them all in. Well done. That's amazing. Okay. Kidoki. I cannot. There's the comments, just making sure I don't lose them. All right. We did the workshop with Melissa, and I want to hear from you. What was your highlight? What was your experience? Is it the first time, Melissa, that you've actually been on a workshop with Melissa? And how was the experience? Because I think like a lot of people who study color mirrors, when they get to teachers like myself or Karani or Priscilla or one of the other teachers that have been around for a long time, and you kind of hear about Melissa secondhand because we're in different countries, and all of a sudden, this is the first live broadcast Melissa did on a workshop. It was her first kind of, let's go into the field of technology and do a workshop using technology, and she did it and did a beautiful job with Catherine Jones, just supporting her and holding her so beautifully and made it possible, and we're very grateful for that. So I just want to know what your experience of that was. So we just kick off. Shall I just start with you, Patty, because you're kind of top of the screen there?
That's fine. Well, I can tell you one thing. It was an amazing experience, and I'm so glad that I signed up for it. The first thing is this bottle. Honestly, it is the most delicious smelling bottle I've ever smelled. I like it. I can wear it as perfume. It's so, it smells of spring and new beginnings and all this magic stuff going on. So
and she's called it the magic bottle and made it specially for this workshop. And the minute I sprayed on my hands, the dog starts licking it. He loves this bottle.
Yeah, it's divine. And the whole workshop was amazing. Both days, I enjoyed everything that Melissa shared. She is just something out of this world to me.
Yeah.
And what I was her meditations that she did during them, I've been going back and listening to them again because they are so powerful. And it was just such a deep, I went so deep into these meditations, better than I've ever experienced, I think, in the past, is, getting really down into it. So yeah, I'm going to be listening to those a lot. I've saved them all, and I'm going to be focusing on spending more time with those as well.
Okay. Yeah, and some of the meditations she did, which is very typical of Melissa, because this is your first experience of her, is she takes you so deep that sometimes you can't even remember what happened to you in your meditations. You come back and you go, oh, she's saying come back to the room, but where have I been? And the download that you get is almost like you have to leave your body to receive the full impact of the energy download she gives you. And then of course you're going to have the integration time. So one of the things we all know when we work with Melissa is that it takes about 11 days to integrate the full impact of what she's given to us energetically, and and for our body to accept it and familiarize ourselves with the energy. Yeah.
It was incredible. And I could just listen to her all the time. She's got a
Fabulous.
beautiful voice. And so, yes, I was very, very grateful for everything, for her and for Catherine and Melissa, for all the work they did. And yeah, it was just incredible.
What I'm going to do later on, we're just going to just have a brief discussion about our experience, general experience of the workshop, I should say, because I've just remembered we still need to do bottle 3, the slides. And it'll be interesting to see how our chat about the workshop ties in with the bottles of the week, because there's always some synchronicity when it comes to the color mirrors, right? So yeah, Kate, you said you've been 9 years, you've been with color mirrors. Who was your teacher? Who got you into color mirrors?
Kath Roberts. I don't know if you know Kath.
Yeah. You two wrote a book together.
That's right, we did. I could have brought it on to show you, but colourful boardrooms, because we did most of our work together was working with CEOs and their top teams and taking colour into that space and into, you know, the leadership space, and what does a red leader look like as opposed to a coral leader and stuff like that. So that was the work that we did, really.
You felt this is amazing thing again about color mirrors is it's so diverse. It's diversified energy, can go into any direction, and you took it into the corporate environment and leadership and CEOs of companies. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. So what was the weekend like?
So it was interesting actually what you were saying. I mean, I loved the weekend because I did my teacher training with Melissa in South Africa. I was very fortunate. So I mean, I really like her energy because there's a sort of calmness that's sort of, almost a real simplicity in the way that she presents, but one mustn't be fooled by that, but it means you can get in very easily. It's very, and I like that. And I think with this particular spritzer, what I loved was one thing that she said, I don't know if you remember this, Moira, but she said that every time they work with olive green these days, it's getting lighter and lighter. So if we look at this sort of, it's like, as she was saying, lime green with a gold sheen in it. And as we know, those sort of colours together are sort of alchemical magic, you know, the olive green and the gold. And also, I think what's really important is, as you know, we're in the age of Aquarius now. I mean, there's a bit of a debate as to exactly when we stepped into that, but the age of the Aquarius is actually ruled by the magician, and the magician bottle, the 15 bottle, is that same sort of limey olive green as opposed to the deeper olive green of the 26 or the 24 bottle. And it feels very much a part of what we're in now. And I have a supervision sangha that I run, and we look at things from an elemental perspective. So when we gathered last time, we were saying, all right, it's coming into spring. So I did 2 grids. One of them was around air, so all of that kind of that clear energy. But the other one was around wood, because I know you like the Chinese sort of, I grew up in Hong Kong, so I'm very connected to the sort of Chinese way of looking at things. And so again, there's that connection to the sort of the wood energy, the need to be flexible, to bend, but also actually to be clear about our boundaries. And it's kind of a funny energy to work with. So I thought that was quite a nice insight. And the last thing I wanted to share, because you mentioned coral, and I know you're going to come on and tell us a bit about the Jupiter bottle, but what I think is really interesting is when we combine the colours of coral and the olive green, we get collaboration. It's all about collaboration, and that to me is really the sort of synthesis, if you like, of this time, is that we can't do it on our own. It can't be the Kate show or the Moira show. It's actually how do we connect together and really create something huge, because this is the time of awakening, and it's a time of choice. You know, it's the bifurcation of the universe. So some people are going to choose to remain asleep and check out, and that's fine, because that's the choice they've made this time round. But, you know, how do we then work with, you know, more and more people and get them onto the Rainbow Bridge? So it feels really timely that you're talking about coral today, because when we combine it with this, we get something really magical.
That cooperation, yeah, you're quite right. And I think there's a lot of people who during this whole lockdown period, this last a year plus, you know, they've been isolated and alone. And and they've realized that, you know, they've got to get over the issues and being in partners and being in relationships and opening up to being loved and the co-creation. You don't have to do everything on your own. You don't have to live on your own. You don't have to work on your own. You don't have to raise your kids on your own. You don't have to, you know, just really just look at partnerships coming into your life. And I like that idea as well, with that partnership bottle that she was talking about. Nice going. Thank you. Shall we before we go to Amy and Lisa and Catherine, shall we quickly pop over and just have a look at what we're talking about with this coral bottle? I've got some slides for you. So let me go and do a screen share. So there we go. So literally we have got I'm working my way through the color mirror system, starting at number 1 and then going through to 2 and 3 and 4 and working away. So this is a third bottle in the system, which relates to the planet Jupiter. It's called Jupiter, and it has this lovely soft coral top and bottom. So some of the key words that we have here is it relates to expansion. So it will challenge you to say, so how visible do you want to be? And, you know, Jupiter is the biggest planet of them all. So if you think in symbolism, it's the biggest planet in our solar system, besides, of course, the sun is the center. So do you want to be small like the moon around Jupiter, or do you want to be Jupiter itself? So this bottle challenges you to say, or it plants a seed, so to say, around, you know, do you want to be visible and how big do you want to be? Because anything is possible. So it brings in the essence of limitlessness. It brings in that you can do and be anything you want. The other thing I love about coral is it's made up of 2 colors, a yellow, which relates to joy, and pink, which relates to love. And if we are talking about magic, and the magic Melissa was talking about on this weekend's workshop, of course, you know, we know you've got to be happy and you've got to be in love if you're going to create magic. You can't create magic in your life and you can't manifest what you want if you don't have the energies of love and joy. So this bottle tends to pop up when people are struggling to manifest things, because it says, hey, wake up, you've got to be happy and you've got to be in love. And it's also about unconditional self-acceptance, and it definitely pushes us to take care of our bodies, to nurture ourselves, to take care of ourselves. You know, watch what you eat, you know, do it consciously. And then the last little piece I wanted to share about this bottle is I've noticed it's often chosen as a statement that says, I'm not going to give my power away again. So that to me is I love it when people pick Jupiter, because it's like, hey, they've arrived, they're here, they're going to make it, they're stepping into their power. So I just want to ask the panel, does any of you have any experience with this bottle that you maybe want to share with the viewers? Have you bathed it? Do you know a client that had a breakthrough with it? Anything that you can share? See, we don't plan this, guys. You see, I put them on the spot and just ask them.
One thing I can quickly share while people are thinking, Moira, is it's my most popular bottle. It's the one I sell the most of, I would say, of all of the Colour Mirrors bottles. And I also thought it was very timely that you've picked this, because I'm about to start next month a coral journey. And I start with the Jupiter bottle, even though it's not part of the Coral Gaias, because to me it's the foundations and stepping stone into those higher frequency bottles. So I absolutely love it. Because it kind of gets us to think about things like neediness and moving from dependence to independence to interdependence and ultimately transcendence.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Well, I love that, stepping stones for coral. Anybody else have a love story with coral? Don't worry, I've got another bottle I can challenge you on to talk.
It's Amy, and as many turquoise bottles that I have in my birth year, my best friend has as many coral bottles. So the love story is between her and I, and our birthdays are only 3 days apart. So she just had her birthday yesterday, and mine is on Thursday. And every time we write things to one another now, it's all about how much we love each other and how nurturing our relationship has been over the last 38 years. And so we just have a cry competition now, like on our birthdays, to see who can make each other cry the hardest. And it's just beautiful. You think your soulmate is a man or your partner that you live with. But in our case, I really believe that she and I being coral and turquoise are the complementary. So that's our love story.
Love it. Oh, Amy. Yeah, coral, it definitely has with it that energy. I think what just what Kate said, bringing it into this interdependence and solidifying friendships as well. I know I'm like Amy. I'm also a complete turquoise ray, so I struggle with the coral. Coral is my kryptonite. It's like, oh, it keeps telling me lose weight, girl, get fit, girl. Go out there and be visible, girl. And I'm like, no, I just want to go lie in a pool of water and swim and float on my back and not have to deal with real life stuff. So Jupiter is always very challenging for turquoise people. All right, let's have a look at the next one. So the second bottle that I wanted to highlight was the Earth Elemental, because we're kind of going through the rainbow with the elements. So we're digging into all the coppery colors right now. So the Earth Copper element is a bottle that it's chosen quite a few times, but I've got a couple of notes here. Let's just have a look here. It's very grounding when you spray it. It actually smells like the earth. Like if you dug a bunch of soil up and you smelt it, the essence of it gives you that sense of connectedness to the earth. It comes up to say release judgments around abusing the planet. So if you have some serious views around the abuse on the planet and you're kind of locked into that, this one will challenge that judgment and it will help you see a greater perspective, the bigger plan, so to speak. It takes you out of the let me be angry at the people who are polluting the ocean to what's the bigger picture, what is actually happening, what is the action that humans are doing in the pollution of the oceans, what is it, how's it affecting the global consciousness. So this bottle just kind of takes you and helps you loosen some of the judgments and see the real plan behind the plan. It also helps your body to feel safe and held, very, very nurturing in that way. This in my practice in the 18 years I've been with color mirrors often is chosen by someone who was adopted. They'll tell you they're looking for their real mother, or they've just found their real mother, and it feels, and we do a meditation with this as practitioners and teachers of color mirrors, where you connect to Earth Mother, and something releases for them around that need to find their mother. It softens, it heals a little bit for them. I don't know if any of you had that in your practices, where it's been people who were adopted, or they somehow, or mother died in childbirth. Has any of you had that? Okay, all right. It's happened for a couple of practitioners. We also use it in chakra and earth star balancing as color practitioners. Do you guys use it when you do chakra balancing? You spray it at the feet, and does it make a difference, Catherine? Catherine Bork shaking her head. Does it make a difference when you use the earth when you do that work?
Yes, it does. It helps to ground them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find if the client gets off the therapy bed too quickly and we haven't sprayed earth, they get that head rush.
Yeah.
Something's dropping down you and you get a little head rush. Yeah. So it's really good for that as well. Does anybody have any stories, or is this a favorite bottle or not so favorite bottle? Who's going to confess?
I wanted to mention something because one of the golden nuggets that I came away with on the Big Love and Magic weekend was this. Melissa took us on these meditations, but she started with us connecting with the earth and moving the energy up through our feet. And it was really profound to feel that connection and to realize that if we are going to manifest our magic or our dreams, it can't just be an idea out there. We have to actually ground it into the planet, plant it and connect to make it a reality so that we can experience it in our human bodies. So that was something I really came away with, that copper grounding.
Yeah, because usually when Melissa does meditations with us, she has us relax from the top down. Yeah. And it was a complete switcheroo. She had us work with the feet and the earth and then come up. It was a really lovely sensation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I love it.
I think it's that whole piece around, isn't it, that the more grounded you are in the earth, the more you can expand in your spirit self. And so it's that connection. But for me, one of the things I wanted to share, I absolutely love earth. And I've used it a lot with people with mental health issues. So I have a daughter who is has various issues and is dyslexic among other things, so looks at things in a very different way. But she didn't particularly like it, but it was really helpful in terms of helping her to ground. And then one of my other clients, who's an artist in the UK, is also bipolar, and she used it as a perfume at a really challenging time in her life. So went through it in about 6 weeks because she was using it so much. So that's how I tend to use it. It's very much the safety aspect and the feeling that they are home, even though it feels very discombobulating at times.
I mean, the whole thing about being on this planet is when it doesn't feel like home. We have this recollection of being in some starry galaxy. I mean, all you have to do is look at all the Star Trek movies that have been made, and sci-fi, the whole sci-fi industry is all about other planets are better, other planets are more. And yeah, we play with that concept that this planet is a hard place to be. But if you look at some of the sci-fi stories, this planet is the one everybody wants to conquer. So there must be something here. Sci-fi must be real. Oh, I love it. Okay, so there is a bottle in Color Mirrors, and it's called G24 Reconnection, and it's a little bit sparkly. And it combines the coral with a bit of sparkles in it and a little bit of a bling in it, sitting on top of the copper, and it's called Reconnection. And really it says here, okay, so coral is your human body and copper is the earth body, and there has to be this synergy and this connection to reconnect both. So it will challenge you to say, so what does it mean for you to be on this planet? Do you feel safe? Do you feel vulnerable? Do you feel alienated? It helps you to examine, anywhere where you still don't feel that you belong to the planet, that the planet is your earth, is your home, your earth home. So it will help you reconnect to Gaia, your earth mother. It's such a pretty bottle, isn't it? But it's one that gets chosen a lot on practitioner workshops and teacher workshops, on training courses. This bottle is a very popular one. This one is also going to help you to release, first of all, identify, reveal, and then release any parts of you that still believes you're not good enough, that believes you're not perfect enough. It holds up such a beautiful mirror because it's color mirror. So, all the colors mirror to you. And it'll hold up to you exactly where you still don't believe you are enough. And I love that because, I mean, if you're of the earth and you have this incredible body, and Melissa said this on the workshop, she reminded us again, the biggest magic is the magic that's right under your nose. You don't even know it, and it's your body. And if you look at how the eye works, if you look at how your body works, your ears, your hearing, it's just one big magical energy that you're walking around that is you. And this is a bottle that holds up the mirror, say, so how can you say that's not perfect? How can you say that that's not enough? So I love that. So those are the G24. Has anybody got a story of G24? Okay, I'll stop sharing there now. All right, anybody watching, the viewers, please, if these are bottles you love and you have a special story or relationship to share, this is your opportunity. Pop it in the comments box. We want to know what your experience of it is as well. Okay. All right, let me just see here. I just want to check. There are some comments coming up. Regina, during Melissa's meditation about grounding our feet in the earth, I saw my feet melt and become one with part of the earth. Oh, that's nice. Oh, it's so beautiful, that meditation. And Hillary says, love that, because for me, healing starts with drawing the energy up from the earth and then the universe. Oh, so they love what you said there, Catherine, reminding us how Melissa had to pull up from the bottom of the earth. Yeah. Wow. You had your sister watch with you, Christine, and you were watching it together. What was her take on this? If she doesn't mind us gossiping about it, we love you, Christine. We know you don't mind.
Oh, she had, it was wonderful. She had actually a huge breakthrough, because one of the questions I had my students work with this week was, what is a question that you've been asking your entire life, and how you can be the solution to that question? So they've had this week to work on it. And this weekend, she had a huge breakthrough with that, with picking the 2 bottles.
Oh, we all had to pick a block bottle and a bottle that said, this is actually who I really am, the truth. Yes. You want to share yours, because I think I've got I have it here. I have yours here. You picked, so funny you did this, Catherine. You picked G3, right? This was the
Yeah.
block. Then Return to Atlantis. Why was this your block?
So this was my block bottle, and I have a big connection to the Atlantean times. And what I realize and what I know, what I sense and what I know is that I abused my power in that time. So I feel a sense of responsibility to the downfall, to the loss of lives, all that kind of stuff. So how that plays over for me in this lifetime is I tend to be very cautious and stay small and hold back and, not want to be seen type of thing. Mm-hmm. But then Melissa had us pick a bottle that represented who we are on the planet. And I picked the coral.
Coral. You see, I knew there was a story in our coral this week.
So I knew very well that this had to be let go. This blame, shame, guilt thing that I carry has to go in order for me to, if that's who I am and that coral represents who I am, then it's time to let that go. And so that bottle, that G25, is called Integration. And so what I realized,
it's the coral, it's like the Jupiter bottle we just showed, but it's got sparklies in it.
Yeah. And so what that is to integrate the wisdom of that time and to know, for me to be able to integrate that it was all perfect. But I do have a funny little story, because when I went to get my bottle, and this is the magic of the color mirrors, when I pulled my G25, what I realized was the bottom, it wasn't coral over coral, it became coral over gold. Oh, sorry, can you see that?
Yeah.
And so that just was a reminder that, authentic power, it's not abusive. You can't abuse your power. No. So it was a full thing for me to go through that bottle picking and have such a...
And also the number, Catherine, because it's G25, and 25 is the number of trust in the system. Yeah. So it says you've got to begin to trust that you are exactly where you are and doing what you're meant to be doing, and the whole package. You got to trust everything. Trust yourself.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, it really, if you look at 3 Jupiter and you look at that one, the only difference is the little sparkly bits, right? It's a little bit pale and it's very sparkly. So there's a bit of bling in here too. So it says here, if you're going to do this magic, you're going to be this Jupiter energy and this coral energy. And again, I loved what Kate said about the whole interdimensional support and interconnectedness of everybody. This you got to do a bit of bling, girl. You can see some of the bling there. And all the colors are in here. There's a little rainbow of colors in here. So color is important for you as well. Lovely. I love it. Isn't that amazing, guys? So how this works is when a practitioner in color mirrors says to your teacher, guides you to say, pick a bottle that is the block, and pick a bottle of how you really want it to be, what you really believe about yourself. Then it's a case of you go and do the work yourself. This is part of the system that's so empowering, isn't it? Is you go and bathe in the bottles and you go and sort this out in the privacy of your own bathroom. And this is to me the real magic of color mirrors, is you go and fix this yourself. It kind of turns us into lazy consultants, because we don't have to work that hard, because the bottles go and do 90% of the work with the client. But that's the great thing, is you can see lots of people as they all buy their bottle, they go bathe in it, and they shift things at a cellular level. Nice. Thank you, Catherine. Amy, how did you find the workshop, girl?
Ooh, how? Actually, the first day I was watching all the chats. I feel enlightened. I feel beautiful. I feel light. I feel starry. I feel awesome. I'm a ball of glowing loveliness. And I'm like, I am fidgety as hell, and I cannot stop moving and really uncomfortable. So, of course, this is all about integration and the fact that I'm just, I'm trying to fight it. I'm trying to be that girl who's like, no, I'm cool. I got this all under control. But then on Sunday, just by chance, I wore my copper sweater. And Sunday, I could join in with the whole I am floaty and lovely and feeling really comfortable and awesome. And the meditations that Melissy does, well, especially on Sunday, just took me to another place. And I'm not really one for loving the earth, but of course, she reminded me that we fought to get here. Like, we won the immigration lottery to get on this planet. And so why would I fight so hard to be somewhere? There must be this reason. And of course, I refer back to Melissy's book, like this, What the Seeker Found. And the first question is, who am I? And in the actual answer, she's saying, if you can get this down, you don't even need to read the rest of the book. Just keep coming back to this one. And so I'm always, whenever I'm in the presence of all of the awesome Color Mirrors family, it's like, why do I even ask a question at all? Because I already know the answer. It's like, you're divine, Amy. You're going to be awesome, Amy. Like, just embrace it and love the planet. And so, yes, I'll pay the money to sit with Melissy and hear that for the 100th time so that it gets into this head of mine and I just embrace it.
Wow.
Blech. But I do, and I particularly loved bathing in the Champagne River. I mean, who doesn't love, bathing in a Champagne River meditation? So that I just felt like so much joy. And I was telling people yesterday that while we were in that mode of creation, and what is your sound of creation, my beautiful man Brian was actually like drilling and hammering and creating, like, right while I was in the Champagne River. And I was just laughing, so happy that I had these sounds around me that just meant, stuff is moving, there's action happening. And I actually spritzed the basement before he got here. So I spritzed the basement with the magic, and all of a sudden I now have a bathroom. Woo!
That's how you manifest.
And I also just did a combo of the copper, because I've never used the copper. I don't have any copper in the house, which is probably why I always feel like I'm up here. So now that I've got it, I actually like overlapped the sprays, the magic and the copper, and it was like I had goosebumps with those two scents combined. So yay.
I think the only thing I remember about that Champagne River was when I came out of it, I thought, geez, I was swimming in champagne bubbles. Why didn't I drink some while I was there? Oh, golly. Lisa, would you like to share a little bit about your experience with the workshop? What was a highlight?
Wow. Well, that's probably a good place to start. Well, this is my first time having a workshop with Melissy.
Uh-huh.
It's like on steroids. And I'm glad that Amy was saying that she was fidgety, because I'm like, I couldn't sit still. And I'm just like, my body was buzzing. And for me, whenever, I do a class with you, this one, I go to sleep right afterwards. I am like, my body is just integrating all of it. And then Sunday morning at 3:33, my body felt like a Sonicare toothbrush. It was just bzzz, and it woke me up. And yeah, I'm still processing it. It shifted a
You
lot.
have no idea how glad I am you used a toothbrush for an analogy for a vibrating tool.
Instead of a vibrator.
Yeah, in Canada, we're not on evening adult time yet.
Well, choose whichever device you want to reference as something that vibrates. But yeah, PG. The energy shifted in our household, so much that my son has decided to go to India and live there the rest of their life and study with their spiritual guru. I mean, you want to talk about, our whole family's been crying and processing. It's a wonderful thing. It's not a bad thing, but it's just like our whole foundation is shifting. And be careful what you say. I was like saying, Eli, it'd be good if we had a break, for a little bit, you to like kind of explore the world. And then that night they said, I'm going to India. I'm very clear. So it's affected our house. letting my baby leave the nest. It's not like they're just going off to college. Now for me to see them, I have to fly to India. So I'll have to manifest that. But I'm forever changed. Every time, we do our classes with the colors, you just keep going up and up and up. You can't go back down. If I had a bathtub, I probably would have dumped all the bottles in and just said, check on me in about a week. I'm waiting for my fig bottle. I'm really looking forward to getting, probably have to order a few. And I like what she said, that this bottle is now going to be part of the system.
Because we've been nicknamed the fig bottle because the top note in here is fig essence. And it's the first time Alicia's used a fig essence in the color mirror system. And it's really noticeable because it's it definitely has a touch of magic around it. Yeah. Yeah.
And
I liked how she explained to us, because it's not for those of you watching who don't know Melissa and color mirrors teaching, it's not always just all energy talk. We do focus on things that kind of scientific, if that makes sense. But she was talking about the pineal gland and how the center of our brain, the pineal gland, is so tiny, it's so underdeveloped, and that is part of why humans struggle to manifest, to create what they want to have, to create the magic, because the body part we need to function doesn't get the attention it needs. And part of you doing spiritual development work is actually to soften and grow and develop your pineal gland. So your energy work you do affect your physical organs, it affects your glands. And so that to me was just a nice bit of information to share with us, and she did an exercise in a meditation for us to actually activate it and to connect it to the front, to the pituitary gland and to the third eye, so that we can actually see. But then she turned the tables on us, because she said, we think that our third eye is about seeing into the future, kind of being a bit psychic and doing that. She says that's not what the pineal gland and your third eye and your pituitary gland is all about. It's about remembering the future and holding a vision for the future. She totally flipped the tables on us. I don't know. Did you find that interesting? For me, it was just brilliant to hear it again. Yeah.
Yeah, I found that so interesting. And then the other bit that she was talking about, that as a soul, I think that was the reference. There's no lower chakras, like no lower chakra colors, and so the fact that these starry beings are just looking at our lower chakras like, oh, where did you get those? Those are pretty. I want one of those. And here we are trying to work through all the shit that comes with those lower chakras, going, what the hell? Like, you can have them. Like, take my lower chakras.
That they don't do the solar plexus. They don't need to. On Earth, we do, because we're practicing and learning to let go control. So you need that solar plexus to still try and feel like you're in control of the universe, which we're not. We're riding a magic wave here. That's it. And so that was interesting. And then, of course, the whole survival chakras and the shocks and abuse chakras, the sacral and base chakra, and how this is part of the human experience. This is why we chose to come here, is to have those experiences, because when we were at that spiritual level, when we didn't need those chakras, we were curious, what does that feel like? So here we're feeling it, and we forget that this is part of our magic of our journey, is to have those human stories and shocks and traumas, and to learn what forgiveness. The big thing is learn what forgiveness is. How can you learn what forgiveness is if you haven't had the shock, if you haven't had the abuse, and to learn to master forgiveness? And that's part of the human experience that we're here to grow through. Yeah. There was another part that was very, very important to me, and it was the Ho'oponopono bottles, and it was she kind of did a little quick presentation on a workshop she did way back. I think, was it 2018, Kate? I think she did it in the UK. I know I wasn't there for that one. And she explained how the magenta bottles and the diamond bottles explain the Ho'opono process. That was just so, I was so grateful she shared that, because I had missed that workshop. Wasn't that just something else? You know, for those of you who don't know Ho'oponopono, it's that I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. And she has bottles that resonate to that full energy that explains the journey, and then the story behind what the phrase of "I'm sorry" actually means. And I found that fascinating. I loved it. Did you do the workshop when she was in England, Kate, when she was up there?
Yeah, because that was I think it was the one 2 years ago, because we've had two. We've had them in November, and Catherine has nobly organised us all each time, finding the space and stuff. And the first one we did was pre the book launch, so that was 2018. So we looked at I think actually in that one there was lots of different practitioners offering, or teachers offering things. So Kath and I did a session, and Amanda did a session, and other people. So it may have even been the last year, but I think what struck me about it, I mean, I was, we're doing it again, but actually it's like a bit like the remembering the future. There's sort of layers, and there's more you can get. And what came up for me was, I think a number of people chose G8 as their block bottle, and I, at the moment,
I think Lisa did as well, didn't you?
there were quite a few people.
Black bottle. And Patty? Ah, you see there, we got the two.
Yeah, I knew it was oh wow. And I was completing a copper journey with a group of people that I'm working with, and we've just been looking at G8, and so it's kind of like really resonating, because there's still some fear for some people around it, why would you want to go into the darkness and stuff. And so the reminder again that actually, the dark and the light create one single sacred circle. And actually the way I like to think of it, and it sort of connects to the stuff we've been talking about Mother Earth, is that we go into Gaia, deep into the earth, and it is very dark, but the reason to connect at that level is to actually release any trapped light that's in there and bring it back out to the light. So we do need to have that combined connection, with the dark and the light.
I'm just seeing here, Regina says, Amy, I got goosebumps when you talked about the lower chakras. I just want to check in here with the comments. So Lisa, if it was this G8, and as Kate says, people often do that, they'll pick that bottle. What was your fixed bottle? Your truth bottle? The diamond. See,
G7. Yeah, it was
black and white. She did the yin and yang. Yeah. So the block is, this planet is dark, it's heavy, look at all the work I have to do. And then you pick the diamond bottle that says, yeah, but the truth is I've got Christ light in me. I have this diamond energy which holds, and if the diamond of course holds all the colors, and try and get the light to capture some of the lovely glittery glowy things that are in it.
This one has all the colors, and when you put it up to the light, it looks like wine. It's a beautiful color, but when you look at it on the the picture of it, it looks like it's black. It's like, I just want to feel safe. Put the cloak of black on me. But it is a really beautiful bottle, and I like that it's called illuminating. It's kind of the opposite of what you think it would be, and then when you read in the book, it's just a beautiful message. I mean, they all are.
Yeah. And the nice thing I found, if we pour that black bottle in the bath, you never know if it's going to give you a red or a blue bath. I've had it where it's been a blood red bath, and it looked like I was getting into blood, and I really struggled. And then there were times I poured that one in, and it was just this cool blue water, this indigo water. It was just this bottle, it's amazing. It just does some really, really weird stuff. Because actually black in color mirrors is deep, 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 deep magenta. There's no such thing as black, really. It's actually deep magenta, and that's where you get your mastery. And then if you look again, Lisa, at the complementary to magenta actually is this olive green. It's this magic.
There are never any coincidences. Yeah. Like I tell clients, you can't make this shit up.
Yeah. Okay, so I do have a question, but I just want to check in with our viewers here. My darlings, if you haven't yet chosen, Today, let me just flip on the screen here. Today we have got the color cards, and you are going to pick whether you are drawn to number 1, 2, or 3 in the deck. And then I'm going to be shuffling the cards. I'm going to pick it, and myself and the panel are going to give you a little reading for the week. If you haven't yet picked it, pop 1, 2, or 3 in the comments box. All right. And also just to ask you, if you are watching or you're going to get the recording, please share it in other groups in Facebook, because Facebook just doesn't let us share anything anymore automatically. It's just you've got to work at it to get the information about color and color mirrors out there. So one of the other things I found on the workshop that I found very interesting is Melissa actually explained to us what an energy teacher does. Because when you study color mirrors, you become a teacher of the system, or even you're a practitioner, you're working with clients, you almost channel information. It's information that just seems to come out of you. And she explained how that process worked. Did you guys find it useful when she offered that explanation to us?
I think I missed a lot of stuff where I'm going to have to rewatch this workshop a few times, because I had to watch it the second day today, and I'm like, I didn't hear that the first time, so I can't answer that question at this moment. I'll get back to you.
That's exactly what she was saying. It's you go onto a color mirrors workshop, and you have so much information, you get such a download, you don't always remember or know what was said, right? And it takes a while to integrate. And then you find yourself, a month or 2 months later working with a client, and you open your mouth and suddenly this information comes out and you go, where the hell did that come from? And you don't know even that you were at the workshop and the information was downloaded. So I just loved how she explained that's how energy works. And she says literally she can sit in front of the camera and say rhubarb, rhubarb, rhubarb. And it doesn't matter what she says, it makes no difference, because what is important is the intention that she turns up for in the workshop, and that energy that gets downloaded into your cells, as opposed to the words. So I found that really interesting. So is there anything else you guys wanted to share with the viewers from your experience? Would you recommend color mirrors? Why? Now that you also know Melissa a bit better.
Just another little tidbit, even when you don't have the spray and, it was being sprayed, I could smell it.
Oh.
So I'm really interested when I get the bottle, if it's the same smell that I was smelling. That's what I find really fascinating. Like, you don't have to be in the same place, and you can just feel the energy, smell it. And I've even done that with clients, sprayed something. I go, what do you smell? And they get the top notes spot on.
Yeah. Oh my, yeah, that's magic. That's magic. So yeah, and Patty?
I was just going to say, because I'm new to color mirrors, and I'm like Lisa, I'm going to be finishing the practitioner course. I'm very excited about that. I have to say, at the beginning of the course, I wasn't quite integrating it as well. But the more I get into it, and the more bottles I'm seeing, and then participating in this workshop, it's just taking over my body. I could just feel it. And unlike Lisa and Amy, or after the sessions, both workshops, both days, I wasn't tired at all. I was energized, and I had to go for a walk down to the lake, spend time by my trees and the water, and just connect with the earth again. And I just felt so amazingly energized.
Nice.
Great. I like that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Thank you, Patty.
Every day I'm learning more and more, and absorbing it, like really taking it in and understanding it.
Yeah. And it's 11 days after the last day, count 11 days, and that's kind of takes how long it takes. So did you on the workshop, and I'm asking this with great intent, while you were on the workshop, did it inspire you to create something big and magical in your future? And if you are brave enough to share it with us, did something spark you, some creative, magical spark come up of what you wanted for your future?
I think no particular thing came to mind, but it just gave me permission to expand what I've already got going, to think bigger about what I can do, remove the limitations, and just like maybe go back and visit the star and see what my fellow star beings had to say. I think I'm going to listen to the meditations a few more times, and then say, just send me something. Send me help me remember what my future vision is supposed to be.
I love it, Amy. Thank you. Okay, I'll give you my take on this. I feel that I've done a lot of workshops, manifestation workshop. You can make millions. You know, those workshops, those gurus, those seminars and webinars that you go, let's, 10x your business, those kind of things that are out there in the business world, especially in the entrepreneurial world as well. All saying how you can use the law of attraction and change your life and your prosperity status. And I think what I got out of Melissa's workshop, which is a complete opposite almost to what these other gurus are telling you about how you make money and how it works, is she really bought it. And when she spoke about magenta, she really bought it that in the moment, the magic is happening and you miss it. It's the little moments, those special moments when you can go into gratitude, when you can be thankful and use the thank you. And to me, that was the key to manifestation, is when you're in gratitude and you're saying thank you, that is how you manifest the magic. That's how you get the 10x. That's how you attract and manifest. So her way of manifesting and the way she teaches it is from a complete energetic perspective of not going this huge, big Jupiter energy. It's about looking at the little moons, and then eventually you get the Jupiter. It just automatically comes because you're focusing on little moons and the beautiful moons that are floating around Jupiter. So that was the analogy I felt coming forward for me. So I don't know if you have any comments on that, panel.
Oh, it was, yes, when you're saying that, now I'm remembering about the power of words and remembering that your words have power. So when you're screaming at someone, I had a couple instances in the last couple days where I was like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? Just big fat jerk. Like, I was really getting upset. And so with the same intensity, after the workshop, I was like, I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, like to that same person, trying to like take it back and clean it so that I was able to start from a new place. Because of course in the moment I was annoyed, but then my bounce back time to remembering that they're doing this for a reason is getting tighter and tighter. So hopefully it'll bounce, it'll hit and stick, and then I'll be able to just say, I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, in that moment, rather than 2 hours later after I've cursed them out really badly. Because she's saying like it's going to come back and get you in the head, like go right around the planet and come back and pounce you right in the head. So I really don't want that to happen.
If you are in those moments and you do appreciate, and you're in that gratitude energy and you see the magic just unfolding in the little things, you can't allow, your shadow can't just step in and go, go shouting at somebody, willy-nilly and not being conscious of it. So I think the gratitude energy and the way she teaches us to manifest is going to take us out of that wanting to shout at somebody and punch them in the head. Yeah.
Really? Do you think really though? Like, because we are still human and people do stupid things and you just want to smack them. And so how, like, I'm really having trouble bringing that.
Your shadow is only letting you see, your dark side is only letting you see the stuff that they are annoying you with. They're not allowing you to see the gift of who they are. Because everybody, it doesn't matter who they are, whether they are abusers, whether they are the people who annoy you, whether the people you love, whether they're your family that you're having a fallout with, every single one of them is in your life with a gift. There's magic in the relationship. And if you choose, it's a choice. You choose to see, I'm going to smack you in the head because you're annoying the crap out of me right now. Or you choose to go, what gift are you in my life? What magic is there between us? What can I be grateful for? And that overrides that energy completely. It takes it out. So, yeah. So
all right. I'm getting there. Kate, what have you got for me, Kate?
Well, I was just going to say the interesting thing, Amy, is this is what the whole coral journey is about, because coral is about seeing the divine perfection in all things. And so it is a journey, and it's that kind of even, and of course in the moment we're triggered, it's really hard to do that. And then it's that, yeah, what is the gift here? And that's why I think it's almost like kind of before we start. So I quite like Marianne Williamson. She talks a lot about, as you know, about relationships and love, and it's like we're all love. So the question to ask yourself is, what are the barriers I'm putting up to love? And then as you explore that and are really honest, you can bring that down. And then there's this like having little places. So like how you start your day, you know, in the Metal Ox year, it's all about rhythms and routines. So for me, now I start my day like 5 minutes of diving into deep love, because if I have it inside, then I'm more likely to be able to find it. You know, I have 2 teenage daughters, and boy, do I need it, you know. So, you know what I mean? It's sort of that kind of thing. It's kind of almost preempting it. So then you have it, and then it becomes a new pattern, because that's how the brain works. But at the beginning, it's like you have to get your machete out and hack through, and it's God, really? But then once it's there, and then the more you use it, it becomes a well-trodden path. So it's kind of, what are the habits that you're choosing to invest in and develop to create the new?
I've got to tell you, Catherine has come on. Have you seen? I don't know if you can see the comments, Kate. She came on, and sorry, the iPad is just doing a weird thing with me here, trying to see the comments.
It said that Melissa's teaching a workshop on that next.
Yeah, she's saying that. But Catherine says she did a big manifestation on the house to manifest a new home. So she set a really big intention out there with the energy of this workshop to manifest a new home. I have to tell you, Catherine, darling, I did exactly the same thing. And that's what the whole weekend, well, afterwards, a Sunday, because we did it in the morning here, that is what me and the boys were speaking about. The boys and I were speaking about. It was about the type of home we'd like. We'd like a swimming pool, nice big bathtub. It was like suddenly we could speak about magical new beginnings and things that would give us joy and enjoy, because we meant to enjoy our time on the planet. And if you're living in a home, or you're living the kind of life where there isn't that joy, you're not prosperous, and you're not living a magical life. So we got that out of the workshop, and we're very grateful to Melissa for that. And Catherine says she wants to do it in 3 months. Of course, you can do it. Hello. Number 3, Catherine. You can manifest it. That's brilliant. All right, let's have a look at some cards. And I'm going to shuffle. Let me just quickly go back down here. Okay, guys, remember, you needed to have picked your number 1, 2, or 3. Patty, which one did you pick? 1, 2, or 3?
I picked 2.
Okay, I'm going to shuffle and pull a card, and this is going to be card number 2. I'm going to flip it in a minute. Okay, Kate, which one did you pick? 1, 2, or 3?
1.
Okay, I'm shuffling. I'm picking a card, and that's going to be number 1. Catherine Bork, which one did you pick? 1, 2, or 3?
I did pick 3.
You did? Okay, excellent. I thought you did. I must have known that psychically, intuitively. Who knows?
How clever was that, Moira? You're on it.
I don't know. I just picked you randomly. Like the cards. Okay, so here we go. Number 1 for the week.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we go. I mean, hello. How perfect is that? There we go. Olive Hope, New Beginnings. So for those of you who picked number 1, what's the message going to be, girl? Come on, give it to them.
Well, it's the time of the magician. So the more we connect to the magician, the more you can bring in the new energy, the magic, because we are the magic.
Oh, wonderful. So those of you in the number 1 week, this is a week to allow your magic self, your magician, to come out. Yeah. And look forward to new beginnings and spring, and there's hope on the horizon. So don't give up ever. Fabulous. Thank you, Kate. Okay, pony number 2. Oh, look, Yellow angel. Follow and focus your intellect. This is the angel of joy. What are we going to give as a message to those in week who's got 2 for the week?
I don't know. I picked 2, and I'm not
Yeah.
liking it. I don't like it. I one. I'd like to change my answer, please. Yellow angel.
Can I say, Amy, honestly, a client of mine picked this and he's the most amazing guy. He's got all these ideas and you remind me of him, like all over the place, lots of ideas. And I said to him, you have got to focus. You go in any one of so many directions, but you're a leader and people need to see you making a decision and they will follow you.
Okay.
For the card.
Good, good. Yes, I have to focus this week 100%. I've got a magazine to get out and I'm procrastinating, and so this is a good message.
Excellent. How's that one, Patty?
That's good. And I like this because it's yellow is my year. I'm in year 1, so it's the perfect color for me.
Yeah, you're in the yellow year 1 in numerology. Excellent. Okay, so those of you in a number, if you picked the 2 for the week, focus your intellect, get projects done, make a decision, don't procrastinate. And by the way, have some fun too. This
Fun,
is
yes, don't forget the joy.
And I have to write papers this week for school, so that's
That's a
perfect.
good one.
Yep, I got my bottle ready to go.
Ah,
Oh,
Another green bottle. Look at that. This is the green space setting boundaries. And so what message is it for those who picked number 3 for the week? Okay. You want to chip in here?
so getting clear about your space, what you want in, what you want out, setting the boundaries, and having them be flexible to move, flow.
Ooh.
The boundaries of, letting them flow out and flow in depending on what it is you need.
Yeah, I like that the boundaries
too
can be
rigid.
flexible. Sorry?
Sorry? I said don't be too rigid.
That's it. That's what I was commenting on is don't be too be prepared to flow and change and not have it locked down. Oh, that's fantastic. So there you go. There are your picks. 1, 2, and 3. Let me come back to our group here. Any last words to Melissa, darlings? She's watching.
well, you know what's really perfect, Moira? You've got green of the heart and yellow of the solar plexus, which is what makes them magician. You couldn't have made that up. That is just so perfect.
It's weird. It's color mirrors, it's magic every time you work with it. There's always synchronicities. There's always something that is beyond the story. It's just, isn't that Kate? You're amazing.
A little joy sandwich happening there.
Yeah, but it's also that thing about love, isn't it? So power without love is abusive. Love without power is anemic. So we need both in order to really get the big magic. That's the message overall, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, isn't that wonderful? I'm hoping that by you guys coming on and sharing of yourselves, and you're going to be coming back, we're going to carry on these conversations over the next year, that the viewers who maybe don't know too much about color mirrors yet, or they're just curious and they haven't really dipped into it, that we've left you with a little appetite teaser to show you just some of the synchronicities and some of our collective experiences that we are having. Where I'm just so grateful for technology, everybody who created technology, that we can gather like this. I'm grateful to the panel today. Patty, thank you. Kate, thank you. Lisa, thank you. Catherine, thank you. And Amy, thank you. Thank you for coming on, and for Melissa for the workshop, and Catherine who organized everything, Catherine Jones, this weekend. It was amazing. In our family, it was actually a big event, because our Ruben, who's new to our family, he's been with us. He's kind of been Michael's partner for the last 8 months. Actually, did the Sunday workshop, and his first time he saw color mirrors in action, and Melissa, and he just soaked it all up, and it was such a beautiful experience to watch that. So for us, it was a big moment. We were grateful for that moment. There was magic in that moment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Moira.
Thank you.
And please, if anybody has any questions from the panel, can you pop it in the comments box and ask them directly, or if there's anything you want to share, please do so. And if you want to know how to study with them or have sessions with anyone on the panel, please just connect. They'll ask, they'll help you. All right. Everybody's always willing to do a free consultation and start a session to get the conversation going as to how we can help you. You're so welcome to connect with them. All right. And in case any of us don't appeal, there's a colormirrors.com website. You can go. Practitioners all over the world now.
To anybody on this panel, like we're all fantastic here.
What did you say before, Amy? In another class, we're fucking awesome.
Yes.
Don't hold back now, you know.
We're stepping into the I am power.
That's great.
Yes, there are many, many other beautiful souls in this system, but today it's about the 6 of us.
Yes, we am. Yes, we am.
Yes, we am.
Okay, thank you, my angels, and just happy birthday to my sister Kim. It's her birthday today.
Happy birthday, Kim.
Yeah,
Happy birthday, Kim.
Hey.
she loves color mirrors. And then next week we've got Karani Connolly coming on.
Oh, you're in for a treat then. That's going to be
And,
amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah, we are so thrilled. She just confirmed today she's going to be on the show for the 29th, and she's going to talk about a new webinar that she's going to be holding, and we're going to talk about colors. And of course, you know, she's scribing in color mirrors. She's our scribe. She's written the book. She is she's
amazing with words, isn't she? Yeah.
Incredible. I'm very grateful she's coming on. So my darlings, thank you so much for today.
And thank you, Moira, for doing color chats with Moira. I so appreciate it. Gratitude.
Thank you for having me, and lovely to meet you all. Really enjoyed
You
it.
as well.
Same.
Bye.
Bye.